Here we go again, Sierra. We have about 2 hours until we get into the marina, hopefully, if everything goes to plan. It should be less wind today, but I don't trust this area, so I don't trust the wind prediction, so we're just gonna have to see what it is when we get out there. Are you excited about a 2-hour sail?
This stretch of the Chesapeake Bay had caught us off guard just a few days earlier on our journey from Annapolis in Maryland to Norfolk, Virginia. The forecast called for 20 to 25 knots of wind, and instead, we got nailed by gusts of up to 55 knots.
45, 50. 50 right there. 55 knots.
And big steep following waves caused by the shallow depth of the bay and wind pushing against current. We managed to divert our course and tuck away in a sheltered channel to ride out the rest of the storm, but the damage had already been done. After getting pushed off course by a massive wave on our stern and catching a rogue gust that came slightly in front of us, our jib was backwetted, slamming the pole into the side of Delos and bending in our starboard rail. So today, with sunny skies and a favorable forecast, we set sail towards Norfolk to take a dock to assess and repair the damage. This is the story of Delos, a sailboat adventurizing around the world for the past 10 years. And now, we embark on our greatest adventure of all. Come join us as we take to the high seas and travel the world with the newest member of our crew. If you enjoy Delos videos, please subscribe. It's a great way to support our channel.
That was a pretty quick trip. We're almost into the channel already. Jeez, I remember last time we came in here. It was hectic. So I have to be a little calmer this day. We made it. We're tied up to the dock. Feel pretty good, huh?
Look at this railing, huh?
Oh my gosh, I was wondering, like, why does it feel so tight here with the pole?
Yeah, it's
Whoa.
quite a bit.
That's crazy how much you must have.
Yep. Came in with a big force, you know?
There's a crack
right there. Yep. Well, there's how much it's bent in. Let's see, it should be out here, right over the railing, and if you look at it, it sort of goes pretty far in right there. If we bend it, there's a chance that the welds might crack, but we're gonna go for it anyway.
That's what you got.
Nothing. I don't know.
No, shoot your line.
I'm looking at it from here. The whole thing's moved in. This one too. You know what I think we'll do? We'll just use the winch. We'll put a block on one of these cleats, and we'll just put a line out, and we'll just crank it in. The heat is on. I want to see a 3-second or less bowline. Okay, so we got the line tied on there.
All right, Brian, what kind of contraption you got rigged up here?
This is our emergency railing repair system,
Okay. So
utilizing sailboat components and a dock.
all the way over here to a block and back up here to the railing.
Now we should be able to tighten this winch up, and if it doesn't squish the fenders too much, it should bring the rail back out. We'll probably have to go a little bit past it. That's looking pretty good though.
Looks good. Yeah, you definitely want to go past a good way. There's a lot of spring.
Yeah. Woo! Yeah, so that's a little bit over now. I think I'll release it and see if it holds. Looking pretty good. What do you think?
Yeah.
I think we're there. I don't think we need to do it anymore.
Great.
Next up, we need to inspect the rigging. The pole slammed into one of the stays pretty hard, so I wanted to make sure that there were no broken strands and everything was in good shape from top to bottom. Meanwhile, Kaza was doing some preparations of her own down in the galley.
So I like to try to prepare some food for when I know we're gonna go on like a longer passage, so I don't have to think about cooking. So cooking food down below when you're on a rough passage, I would say is definitely the most challenging thing you can do. Dealing with seasickness, or I do a lot of the times, and everything is just flying. You can imagine in a real kitchen, or in a real kitchen that doesn't move, you would, cut your vegetables, put the knife down. Keeping the cutting board like that so it stays straight. So that's how much we lean over. Here, I feel like a lot of the times when we're on passage, I would need 15 more arms to hold everything down as everything is flying around. So hard to show on camera, but literally, my whole world is like leaning right now. The stove is moving and you're having to deal with hot things and liquids and yeah, it's definitely not ideal, and over the years we've had quite a few people getting very, very seasick while cooking in this galley, including me.
You don't look well. Are you sure you don't want somebody else to do this for you?
I'm trying really hard. Oh mate, just let me do it. So I like to prepare a little bit because the crew morale when you eat good on passage is so important. Dinner time! Dinner time! I always feel like when I feel a little bit queasy, when I feel a little bit seasick, if I get a good meal in my belly, it makes all the difference and the crew morale definitely goes up. Also now, having Sierra on the boat has changed this and made this even more challenging. I used to have quite a lot of time on passage. We used to sit, listen to audiobooks, sleep, and now most of my time is taken up kind of following her, making sure that she doesn't hurt herself. So then having to cook on top of that has become quite challenging. So doing a little bit of cooking beforehand can make all the difference. And one of my absolute favorite things to do is pulled pork. Because I feel like pulled pork is such a heartwarming meal, and it can be very diverse. You can make like sandwiches, or you can do tacos, or you can just have it with rice or something. And it's very easy to heat up, and Sierra loves it and Brian loves it, so that's always a plus. So I'm gonna try to crank down on some of the cooking today. I've been in the kitchen already cooking some stuff, but I'm gonna start on the pulled pork, so we'll see how it goes. It's a pretty big one. It's like double what it says in the recipe, but I like to have a lot of leftovers, so cut that up. See? Chicken broth. Okay, put on the lid. So I just wanted to say a little quick thing about the pressure cooker, because I feel like it's such a crucial equipment part on the boat. We love this thing. The handle has fallen off and stuff, but it's still working fine. And we cook with the pressure cooker a lot. It just takes a lot less time. So I'm gonna cook this pork under pressure for 60 minutes. So for 1 hour you can do pulled pork, and I'm not sure how long it takes otherwise, but I think it's a couple of hours at least. So just saving power, and when we had gas, we saved a lot of gas because of this thing too. I usually do pulled pork, we do a lot of chicken. in there. We also, a lot of soups, super quick to do, like butternut squash soup in there. One of my also favorites are risotto. I love doing risotto in this thing because you don't have to stir it that much. So yeah, that's just my little binge about the pressure cooker, but if you have a boat and you don't have a pressure cooker, maybe think about that one. Okay, I think it's ready. You want to taste? Just tell me if it's good. Oh! Jeez! You sneezed straight in my throat. Here you go. You like it? I think it got a good rating from that. Oh, that's good. Okay.
With a fridge full of pulled pork and all the damage repaired from the storm, we just needed to wait for our weather window to round Cape Hatteras on our way to our next destination of Beaufort, North Carolina, about 250 miles to the south. Cape Hatteras is famous for challenging sailors with some pretty intense conditions. We were nailed on our trip north up the coast a few months ago. It rattled us enough that we were nervous about this leg of the journey, so we wanted to pick our weather window carefully to avoid a repeat of what happened last time. It looks like if we leave right now, we'd reach Hatteras tomorrow morning, about 20 hours from now. So that would be right about here. Maybe 5 in the morning, depending on how fast we go. So this would be amazing because it's going to be just downwind right behind us all the way until we turn this corner, and then the wind is going to come. We're going to be headed this way, so the wind will be slightly after the beam, and the apparent wind will probably be slightly forward of the beam, but it won't be like beating into it. And wind speed wise, we're going to cut the Cape really close because there's also a current that comes up this way. The Gulf Stream is coming up, and so we need to really just be right outside those shoals there to stay out of that current. And if we progress through the day, we see it gets a little bit more. So now it's showing 26 knots out here. I mean, if the forecast is right, that's a great forecast. Because we have wind the whole way, we'd be going fast. We're going to be protected from the ocean swells because the breeze is coming right off the land, so there's not going to be very much fetch. And we'll probably, when we were in this corner, be sailing in like 20 to 30 knots on the beam. And so Delos will be like flying, like literally flying. But if the forecast is off and it's blowing like 40 knots, then it's really going to suck. But there's no movement in here. Like this thing that nailed us last time, there was a front going right over us. And here it's a pretty established pattern that's been set in for a day or two. So, and then after it, it's not increasing, it's sort of diminishing for a couple days, and then it switches directions. So that's a pretty graceful transition there over 2 or 3 days. It's 4 degrees. We decided to take the weather window and risk the chance of higher winds versus having too little wind to sail in the following days. So we cast off the lines and set off towards Beaufort.
Pretty cool spot, huh?
I like Little Creek. Little Creek is cool. It's really a chill spot, and the marina we stayed at, Cobb's Marina, it's perfect. It's just like a little family-run, chill spot, and they're super nice people and easy and not stuck up. So that's always good.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it's a cool area. You got like all the Navy stuff here. In fact, we didn't show it because we weren't allowed to film, but we got a special tour of the Navy base yesterday, and they took us through SEAL Team 10 headquarters, which was just crazy to see how those guys train and how they live, and it's just a wild lifestyle. And now we're headed out, making this turn around the inlet. We've got 8 miles to the bridge tunnel, Chesapeake Bridge Tunnel, and then we make a right turn, and then we're out into it, down around Outer Banks.
Hopefully
We're on
a
Hatteras.
little bit more chill than last time.
I think it's gonna be, Kaza. I see us having a solid 20 when we turn that corner, which Delos does real good in, and then we'll be in Beaufort before you know it.
Sounds great.
Paul coming out.
Okay, you start cranking. And then I'm gonna push it out. And you're gonna pull on that one.
You can also tap at the base of the pole and help her push it out while you're pulling that line with your right hand.
1, 2, and 3.
There she goes. We're doing good.
Yeah.
So this is
amazing. It's very stable.
This is our life for the next probably 14 hours. And then when we round Hatteras, it's going to be a little bit more on the beam. But so far the conditions are looking amazing. We got jib pulled out on port, main out on starboard, so we're running wing and wing, pretty much dead down.
Sweet.
We're making usually 7.5 to 8 knots. And life is good.
That's great.
How's that brush smell? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah. I mean, I have the patch. Put the patch on. So I'm feeling a little bit strange from the patch, but I think it's way better than being seasick.
Yes.
Definitely. So.
All right, I'm gonna make a bagel,
Oh, wow.
and I'm gonna go back on watch. Can you show me that wide stance? That sailor stance? Oh, that's a solid base. Are you learning to walk at sea? You're gonna be such a crazy sailor. Or maybe you're gonna hate sailing. We'll see. Take us to North Carolina, Nugget.
Doesn't get much smoother than this, huh?
It's pretty nice, huh? Conditions are matching up. We got about 20 knots behind us. Off the starboard quarter, we're making, what was our average speed, Ryan?
8.1.
8.1 knots average speed, which is amazing. We're flying one sail, just the jib pulled out in downwind mode. It's cold.
Yeah.
It's cold.
It's not very warm, huh?
It's not very warm. We have the full enclosure up though, which blocks the wind.
Yeah.
And the Nugget, look at the Nugget. She's just going to town. Baby driver. Oh!
Lunch is served.
Oh! Oh, Kaza, that looks amazing. Life just got much better. Ooh, nice
Bon
job.
appetit.
I'm cool.
I see you. Silly dude.
Little navigator. Hey, I need the charts. Put the charts back up. Okay. Thank you. Oh, bow thruster off. Okay. We felt relieved to be underway again in good conditions, with the sun shining and the wind pushing Delos and crew along. After taking a beating on the last few sails, we sure could use it, and having favorable conditions to round Hatteras helped us to calm our nerves. Up next, we get buzzed by a Navy Black Hawk chopper.
Wow, his downwash is affecting the sail.
And round the notorious Cape Hatteras.
I know that we've had a lot of anxiety about this passage since we really got the shit kicked out of us rounding the Cape on the way north. Hatteras is no joke. SEAL Team 10.
It's all on the Google. For all of you guys that were absolutely cringing when I was cutting the meat with a bread knife, yeah, I should have used a different knife, but I couldn't find it here somewhere. This knife. Cutting this meat with a bread knife.
Why are you using the bread?
I'm almost done.